Well, good evening, Star Wars fans. Unfortunately, it looks like it happened again. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Streamlabs, but every time somebody else takes over the PC's account, it switches my settings.
Oh, is there? Well, I'll talk to Robbie. We'll
No,
figure
it's
that out.
fine. It's an error on my part. So, good evening, Star
Oh,
Wars fans, coming to you live for another edition of Holotheatre. As you can see, Scott Lingrell is my co-host for tonight. Our guest star is the illustrious Jeremy DiPaolo. Thank you for coming on, Jeremy.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. So I'm glad to have you on, Scott. Thanks for taking over the guest host for tonight. So
yep.
those who don't know the behind the scenes and everything, Scott basically came up and just put this entire show together. So if you like the show, we can all thank Scott. If you don't like the show, blame me.
Yes. No, blame me, because then we'll work to get better every time.
That's what we need. So, Jeremy. So you came on tonight. So this was again Scott's thing. So Scott, why are we having Jeremy on tonight?
Well, I know we'll close with some more detail, but I think the biggest thing is we'll talk. Well, I don't want to give away the surprise. We'll let Jeremy do that at the end. But there was some other stuff that Jeremy wanted to talk about, so I thought we'd bring him on.
Yeah, and this is what we have Holotheatre for. So if anybody who are watching and wants to come on and address the community, this is what Holotheatre was essentially made for, at least in my eyes. I know this was basically Robbie and Jerry's baby, and stuff happened, and now we're here. So
I think we'll go into some questions about him later, but I think the biggest thing is we can kind of start off with he's got a spoiler that we can talk about if you want.
Is that the first thing you want to do, Jeremy?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, so we have a graphic for the spoiler. So I figure what we can do is we can go with if you can announce it, or we can do however you want to do it, because this is your spoiler.
Okay. So, as most people know, Set 13. It's in playtesting right now, but it's centered around mostly Solo, the movie Solo.
Okay.
So, this spoiler is a certain enigmatic character that you only see for a couple seconds towards the end of the film.
Okay.
But he's a pretty key character in the animated series, and he may or may not be in charge of a shadowy organization that may also have a duck built around it coming out in Set 13.
Okay, well, just to stop you there, you're actually giving us two spoilers in a way.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, are we talking like two spoilers here? Because, I mean, you just said there's a deck coming out from a certain kind of organization.
No, I don't think.
It could be.
I'm just saying, could be.
We have a guest in the chat. Sam Tashimi said thinks it's a mall.
He's right. It is Maul.
So we have
my favorite part, by the way, is his destiny number is my favorite part. What do you think the destiny is out there?
Well, I actually have the graphic showing what the text.
Pull it up. Yeah.
It's already all loaded. So.
Oh, okay.
So we can actually see it on Twitch right now. So, Jeremy, you want to go over some thoughts on one, why you're spoiling this card? Two, obviously you said it's coming out because the set is Solo themed. There is a deck kind of like around it. So do you want to go over the card as a whole?
Yeah. So the reason why I chose this card is because I think it's pretty symbolic of. I think it's a really well designed card. As far as lore is concerned. Plus, I know that we've been trying to make new personas of Maul. And we had one in the last set, but it didn't really take, right? We haven't seen that Lone Hunter, even though we changed him. He seems pretty good. We still haven't seen him get play over, say, Maul with Saber.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of a different take on Maul. The version of Maul that's in the animated series is pretty different from what we're used to seeing from Maul. And like Scott said, he has some unique characteristics about him. So yeah, that's why I chose him. Not to
Very
mention,
cool.
like I said, he's an integral part of perhaps a new archetype coming out of the next set.
I think my favorite part is I hate redrawing. So I'm sure a lot of people know that, with the team that I have a relationship with, we made Jedi testing really, really good. And part of it is utilizing Yoda and canceling and redrawing with interrupts and his text every turn you possibly can. So I like that he doesn't work. Now you can still redraw your own, but that's the thing, is being able to redraw the opponents just help a lot with all the interrupts and the fancy tricks. So this is good, really good. I love to see this.
Yeah, and I don't like how it's a global effect. I mean, it is showing that he is powerful in that aspect, but
Right.
at the same time, I mean, I'm not one for global effects on characters, but that's just me.
Yeah, it's like Yoda in a sense, where he's
Yeah.
at his hut and you reduce attrition, or Jabba at the audience chamber adding to activation, the original old school Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously it's been done in the past, and he's obviously you got to make him good in order for people to play him. I would guess Jeremy would agree with that.
Yeah, like I said, I think lore wise, like it makes a lot of sense that he has these global ways to affect the game, because you kind of imagine him sitting on his throne and on Dathomir, kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes. That I think the design team really knocked that out of the park with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I noticed is he's a gangster.
He is. I mean, he's a leader of a criminal organization.
So there's some
Wow.
random cards that work with gangsters. So it's
Okay.
nice to see some of that stuff.
You probably know better than we do, Scott. What are they?
Well, I know, like, when you look at the game text, I'll pull it up right now, but simple things like Corellian Retort for the light side, by the way, you get to add a battle destiny when Han is with a
Mhm.
gangster. So that's
Okay.
kind of cool to see that. But then you look at, like, I want to see a reason for Jabba's influence. You can
Yeah.
put it on him, the original special edition card. So if they come down to you and they don't, and they still have characters, they've got to use 5 force or that card's going to be returned. So it's pretty cool for certain ability 1 characters. So there's some niche cards you can kind of see. If he ever moves to the Jabba's Palace site, you can play Sabak with him.
And that, you know what? That's interesting because I can actually see you doing something like this. I do like, though, he cannot deploy to any battleground. That includes your battlegrounds. So
Right.
he is kind of limited to where he can go. I like that. Uh, and, I mean, he's not overly powerful himself. Like on his own, he does draw destiny on his own and everything. He is going to be a warrior. I noticed that he's not a pilot. I kind of like that. So you can't just throw him on the Sith infiltrator and just cloak it the entire game, and he's just doing all this crazy. Well, I mean, you can as a passenger, but not have him as a pilot.
Right, right.
And overall, I mean, it's a good card. The big thing for me is we see that he's a Crimson Dawn leader. That right there is telling me, well, this is a solo set, so we're going to see something, maybe not this set, maybe not set 14, but eventually something to do with the Crimson Dawn. So that I do like. I like that aspect. I like foreseeing what we have coming down the pipeline. I mean, he can still use his lightsaber. That's cool. I do like the Destiny, though. It's interesting. Just because, I mean, he is half a character, essentially.
I agree.
Maybe we'll see a device that deploys on him.
Makes him move around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the fact that he can still move, that's good, just like in the movies or in the cartoons. But I really like that a lot. It looks like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And I cannot wait to see what else we're getting in this set. Again, we've heard rumors about some of the cards, but seeing that we're seeing one main character from Solo who, well, I wouldn't say he's a main character, more like a secondary character who does play a lot in the background. So I like that too. I can't wait to see the image of it. I know the European guys are working on some really good stuff with this particular image. Unfortunately, they won't really share it with me, but that's besides the point.
We'll get there. Yeah, the
Yeah.
graphic design team's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's going to be, you know what, I have high hopes for the set, and so far, mostly because of Rock. I love that card. I like I like this set. So I'm
They're
gonna.
making alternate art with just Dwayne Johnson on it for The Rock. Do we know?
You know what, I cannot wait. I think somebody's gonna make one. We know it.
I hope so.
I'm gonna make one.
I don't think that'll happen, but you never know.
Well, you know,
But
as soon as we get the card and it's on a PDF, I will make one specifically for you. I'll put your head on his body holding a rock. How about that, Scott?
Yeah, there you go. That'll
There
work.
you go. Okay.
But I
so-
do like this card. Thank you for showing us this, Jeremy. I really like it a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah, very unique card. I thought it was really cool. Do you guys think you'll see play in any decks? Current decks, I should say.
Well, you go first. Well, you go. You go. I do. So I would definitely put him at the. I like the idea of just any kind of manipulation deck. So he can't deploy in Black Sun, right?
True.
No. Okay. So I think that CCT would be neat to put him in, throw him down to the dungeon, and then move him over to help hold the system or the site and the audience chamber, and then you can manipulate the destinies. You know, if they come try and hit you,
Yeah.
you can change things with it, and you can add to yours, so it gives Boba's gun one more place to shoot.
True. Another idea, and speaking of CCT, I'm thinking maybe of CCT mains deck. You throw him down to the 2-0 site. You have Vader with his lightsaber. You use All Too Easy to freeze somebody. I mean, because you can subtract. You can subtract. Your weapons aren't going to be canceled or anything, so they're not going to be able to cancel. I mean, they'll have. Everybody's been playing relatively unprotected, which it obviously makes sense, but so it's going to limit the force, but you're freezing one of their characters. So there's that idea. There's a lot of decks, like maybe a set your course deck, just because, I mean, he does have some immunity, and you're taking the lightsaber away from him, but at the same time, you're getting that destiny manipulation, which a lot of people like.
And CPI is a weapon destiny, is it not?
I believe so, yes, because it's the super laser. So
Yeah, and I know we've helped out. There's some, we've in the past we've helped out some CPI stuff with the no idea kind of style deck. So it would be cool to see if that ever gets any help. You can use this to kind of throw them down to the 2-0, and you can manipulate the blowing up sites. So who knows?
I think you brought up a good point when you said no idea, because I think this character is, I think, a direct response to no idea and the shenanigans that it does with canceling destinies.
yeah.
What
like
else?
that too.
Legend too.
Legend. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I like that about this card. I think, they definitely had those two decks in mind when they made this card.
Yeah.
And it helps them in the future if they want to design something. There's always some help against those redrawing or issues that might hurt that.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I like it. And
Yeah.
I'm sure the creative players will start throwing some ideas out there.
Like, I would love to have seen him in, like, a stunning move or invasion. Like, those would just be some fun ones to put him in. But obviously, he's not an episode 1 character. Obviously, he doesn't have Trade Federation in his lore anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see what people put him into. I think the big thing is he better than Maul with double-bladed lightsaber? Not necessarily. I mean, they're two different characters, so it's going to come down to which of the versions do you want to use. I mean, we have, 2 really, really good versions of Maul? And, I mean, we have, actually, I would say maybe 3. With Lord Maul, Maul with the double stick, and Darth Maul. Now we have this one, why aren't we doing something to help Maul Young Apprentice?
Yeah.
That's my biggest beef. He's got one of the best images in the game, and we're not helping him.
He doesn't need help.
Oh,
I
and
think
we got the Bradley Iyer Maul.
Yeah,
the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the problem with Young Apprentice is that there's just not a lot of Jedi Masters coming around. I don't know if you remember back in
Yeah.
Legacy, but he was really good at Legacy because there were so many Jedi Masters floating around.
Yeah, and
I
he
think that's the reason why you don't see him. So if we ever see an
Yeah.
uptick in those Jedi Masters, maybe we'll see an uptick in Young Apprentice.
Well, okay,
Plus
if that's
he-
the case, then I want to see that Jedi objective refined and made new again.
so you can
I love
play
that.
young. Well, you can do him in ASM, right? A stunning move. You can play the Maul. I think he does well in that because you start a Coruscant site. He's
Yeah.
deploy -2 there. You know, there's some tricks. One other thing I'll mention about the spoiled Maul. I like the idea of playing a Maul deck with him because you can pull the SIP Pro droids and bounce them around wherever you need them to go.
So you start the Maul's Hut to play him for free because it's not a battleground.
Nope, not a battleground. And then you can play the Padme effect, play the probe droids, and move them around.
Oh God, why are we giving Scott more ammunition?
So there's some different ideas. I like it.
There are.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, what else do you have going on with the PC? Because I know you do a lot behind the scenes that maybe not everybody knows about.
Yeah, so I'm part of the GEMP development team, or as we like to call ourselves, the Slicers. So I do most
Okay.
of my work is coding playtesting cards.
Mm.
That's really where I spend a lot of my focus, and doing, code reviewing other people's code and
Mhm.
talking about new features and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of my time specifically is spent towards playtesting.
Okay, and I mean that makes sense just because we're playtesting a new set, and from what I've heard with rumors and everything, it's going to be on the larger side. So there's going to be a lot of cards from at least
Yes.
what are possibly coming out, because there might be some delays here and there with cards, but who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just to give you an idea of how many cards there are, when did we start playtesting, Scott? Like 2 or 3 months ago?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we have about 90% of the cards coded already. So that just tells you how many cards there are.
And part of it is they change a lot, right? So
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. That Maul has changed. Rock has changed. All these cards will change over time.
Mhm.
And the best part about it is, we have people that volunteer as playtesters, and they'll go into GEMP and they'll play a couple games, and they made it so you can go in and pull any card. So let's say I want to test, this deck or have that Maul, but I want to have him in my opening hand. You can literally go into the reserve deck with GEMP, pull the card, you have it in your opening hand. You can test it without having to worry about, I didn't draw it, I didn't get it. So they're able to make those tweaks. And I think part of it is, now with open source, there's a card that's never been able to be tested, which I think is the Weequay Assassin. And the marksman, and someone's trying to get him to work because he might have worked with some of the decks that are in playtesting that he's not in there. And that's the guy that can, for double the force, fire a weapon in the control phase. So because of open sourcing, someone is actually working on that, and it's a tough card to do. But I mean, these are the things, because we've been able to get open sourcing, we're able to do some different things and test some different things. And then Jeremy's able to put a card in there that somebody's able to work on, or put some updates that maybe we wouldn't have been able to do because it frees up Jeremy's time because someone else is working on it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
The person you're talking about is Brock Hall, so shout out to Brock Hall for working on Weequay Marksman. I know it was a tough one. He chose a tough one to start with, but
So what makes that card in particular a really tough one to work with? Is it because because of the control phase that he can fire, or is it something else?
it's actually, and this might surprise you, it's the doubling of the cost that was the very difficult part. The way weapons are coded in GEMP, it's very complicated. It's probably the most complex thing that we have going on.
I can see it just because weapons and the weapon phase are usually like the battle phase itself is the most complicated part of the game.
Yep.
So
And
anything to do with weapons, yeah, I can.
Why do you
see.
think it's the weapons, though?
what do you mean?
Like,
Me?
why is it more complicated for the weapon part, you think?
Well,
Just because weapons themselves are very complicated, and
Okay.
it seemed as if when it was originally designed, when weapons were originally designed, they didn't have this. They just didn't know that you could fire for double. You know, they had a for free modifier, but they didn't have a for double.
Okay.
Right. So
okay.
it would require a lot of refactoring that we didn't really want to do. So we found a workaround. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Found a workaround that works.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
So Talka Bill brings up a question in the chat. He's saying that if weapons are being worked on, does that mean that you can work on combined attack next?
Well, you can because it's open source now, Bill.
Bill, get on
Yeah.
it.
That's the whole idea of it being open source.
Isn't Bill working on coding? He's learning it, right?
It's a great way to learn.
Who
I'll be
knows
honest,
what
it's a
Bill
great way to
does?
learn. You know, working on something you're passionate about, trying to learn a language, this is a great way to do it,
Okay.
in my opinion. And you have
Yeah,
plenty
I
of
know.
help, plenty of resources. You know, I do this this is my full-time job too, is coding Java, so I have a lot of experience.
I was gonna say, is coding for GEMP is your full time job?
Sometimes it feels
Yeah.
that way, but I enjoy doing it a lot. You know?
That's fair.
You know,
When
I know
when I
that.
came on, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when I came on, my biggest gripe was that I didn't think we were leveraging playtesting on GEMP the way we should be, and now I think we're doing a great job. You know, because before, you know, you would have the playtesters playtest a set, but you would expect them to do it with Holotheatre or in person,
Yeah.
you know, with cutouts or whatever. And then after they finalize the set, then they give it to the GIMP team, and they develop all the cards, and then you release the set on GIMP, right? But in my opinion, the problem with that is, why not just do all that work ahead of time, up front? Save yourself that lag time between the finalization of the set and the release in GIMP. Plus, you can have everyone play test in GIMP, which is a lot easier. People prefer that.
Yep.
Especially now in COVID world, obviously. But also, you know, we get, you know, they test the actual cards and they find bugs and stuff before we even go live with them. So that's a really big boon for us. You know, it takes a lot of the onus on us for trying to find every single edge case and every single bug.
And I also know that certain playtesters have a tendency to try different things. So I'll give you an example, Dan. I was testing something that is not going to work in the new set, but originally I was trying Jedi testing in another deck. I was just floating cards to make Jedi testing because there was like some of the cards could be pulled. And we found out that at peace is not coded correctly. And thankfully no one needs to worry about that right now. But that's the thing, is that nobody has play tested Jedi testing in random decks. But there's people that have their kind of specialty that say, hey, I want to try and do this. I want to try and abuse this. And everybody's got their niche. So that's why having the volunteers, we've got a lot of people, whether it's Brock or, you know, anybody that might say, hey, I really want to test Jawas out. And if that deck, it's helped, you can do it. Or you can code it yourself and make it possible, right?
And that makes sense. I will say, for those who are interested, so I know back in, I want to say maybe a year and a half ago or so, maybe a little longer, I remember when on GEMP you had to wait for some of the cards to be released. So say we got the cards on a Friday, we might get like 1 or 2 or 3 of the cards on GEMP and then have to wait for certain other cards to be released. So now it's nice because as the playtesters are playing and everything and all that stuff's done, once the cards are released on as the PDF, 90% of the times all the rest of the cards are good to go on GEMP. So that right there is an incentive to come on and playtest. So that way, once the cards are released officially, you can just start playing the deck right there, just day one.
Yep.
So.
Pretty good.
Shout out to all the playtesters too. I know.
Yeah.
It's been a long set. It's been a grueling journey, but I feel like we've done a really good job. I think a lot of the cards are pretty awesome. Hopefully it shakes up the meta. We'll see.
Yeah,
You've done a great job.
and thanks out and big thanks to the playtesting team. They get a lot of. They're probably the biggest team out there that doesn't get a lot of the accolades essentially as the other teams because they do so much for the cards, and everybody forgets like playtesting is a thing because who really wants a broken card on day one and then 6 months later, we have to fix it. We overdid it. We got to fix it again. So, and I like that in the last few sets, especially like set 12 with all the redos and everything. There really wasn't anything that we've had to change. Everything just seemed like it was good. So everybody who played tested set 12, everything worked like it should. Nothing's too overpowered, nothing's too weak. It's a good balance. So I would rather give it like the set like 3-4 extra months in the oven and then it comes out fresh and ready to go than have an incomplete set.
Yeah, and it allows design, to kind of push the envelope, with more cards, with more changes, we can quickly turn around changes most of the time.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there was a discussion the other day about how because people can play online so much now, the meta seems to evolve very quickly.
Yeah.
So, I know in Texas, a lot of people played CCT.
Yeah.
And now people, and the final 16, they were able to make some changes to stop CCT. And now it seems like CCT is able to make some more changes if they need to. But people are able to play so many games that it's adjusting very quickly. And that's a testament to Jeremy and their team, flat out. I mean, that's it. We can play 100 games a week if you want, right?
Yeah.
Anytime, somebody's always there.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this, Scott. You can only stop CCT at this point. You really can't contain it. Just saying.
Hey, I'll give you a tech card, an extra one.
For CCT?
Yes. What's the effect that you play on IG88 for free?
Dismantle on site?
Yeah, so I've been playing it. You basically, you put it, and if at the end of any turn, if he's with a bounty hunter, he's lost. So he has to move to the dungeon, which leaves him available to get his crap beat out. You can beat him up. So that's the thing, is it deploys for free, and basically it just makes him lost if he's with any bounty hunter at the end of any turn.
Well, see, I have a tech card for that.
Alter?
Well, besides Alter, surprise. If you have an R2 out, I'm just going to slide that card on over to your R2.
It won't work. Unfortunately. Thankfully, it won't. Because it only works on bounty hunters.
Oh, well, that's no fun. Well, no,
it's not.
You know what? I'm going to go use that little app that you talked about the last time to double check.
Yeah,
that.
It deploys on a droid with armor.
Oh, well, crap.
Yeah.
Wait, there's Forlom.
You can move it to Forlom.
Yeah, I'll do that. Boom.
How does that work? He's a bounty hunter, right? So
Yeah. I don't know how it would work. I don't know how it would work. Let's see how GEMP codes it, right? It's funny you talk about, looking it up. So, I mean, if you don't mind, Dan, I'll segue to kind of the resource of the week, if you don't mind.
Oh.
We talked about that. So, Tom Hy-Vee, Doughboy, as we call him, put together a scump link, right? So scump.starwarsccg.org is the website.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you're online, you go on Scump. If you're offline, use the one we talked about the other day, which was the Android app. But the nice thing is, so I'm on Scump right now, and I look up Dismantle on site, and you can't tell. It's too dark. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the Android app. So, with Scump Link, though, we have the app. You go on, you can pull up any card. You can search by lore. You can search by set. It's a really good way to do it if you don't have your phone.
And for those who want to see, there is the little icon right there. And it looks like the radar scanner effect, the image from it. So
the vehicle, vehicle image. So that's how I can look up, gangsters or this or that. But, Scump is a great resource. Obviously, use it anytime you want to look up something. You're at a computer. If not, use the app for your Android.
Yeah, and there you go. You know what? I like it just because it's a good resource for those who are running a tournament. I mean, we we have a computer, but if you have a question, you can take your phone with you to it, and you can check on the card itself. So,
It's nice.
for those who want to know, it's called Comlink.
Oh,
one word.
Comlink, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the app. Yep.
And it's only for Android?
I don't know. You can look in the App Store. It's in Google Play, so I don't know. I don't have an iPhone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who
But-
has an iPhone?
Yeah, if you look up Comlink, you'll be able to see if it's there.
Yeah.
Somebody maybe watching the show will let us know.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. I haven't used it any recently, just because GEMP is all I play. But yeah, it's a nice little app. So I think we should shift gears onto our normal weekly segments.
Sure.
Just because it's a sad time of the evening. So we're going to start with some swing and a miss. So we're actually going to show the question. It'll be on so everybody can read it, and we'll talk about it. So for our first question of the night, the GEMP lag issues are fixed. We're going to talk a lot about GEMP and coding tonight. So
I'm gonna go with a hit. I think I haven't noticed any issues. Have you, Jeremy?
I have not. No, so I can talk about this a little bit. We had that issue for maybe a week or two. So we put some monitoring tools in place to try to track down this issue, and it turns out it was some database calls that were taking a lot of time. A lot of the time, performance issues are caused by database queries. It's very common. So I was able to index some columns, and I think that it's fixed. I mean, I don't want to say 100%, but so far I haven't really noticed anything pop up on our monitoring tools. I haven't heard anybody complain about it recently.
yeah,
I think we're good.
awesome.
It's fantastic. Yeah, that's a good thing.
I'm going to go on the other direction for one reason and one reason only. You never can. I think on our end, with everything that we have done and our servers' ends, I think it's fixed. People are going to have lag issues with their internet, so I think that's always going to come into play. I'm going to say hit on our end, miss on everybody else.
Makes sense. They got to get better internet. Sure.
Yeah. If you don't have
5G.
yeah.
Yep.
Joe Olson,
Stop using Internet Explorer.
all you Seattle people need to get better internet.
The wildfires are kind of causing some
The
issues.
wildfires are done.
Are they?
I don't
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't know.
Hopefully everybody's safe. But
I don't know.
yeah, GEMP seems much better. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I normally when I go on GEMP, it's usually later at night when all you East Coast people are asleep. So that's helpful for me. But
Yeah, luckily it was an easy fix, and luckily that
Yeah.
the monitoring tools picked it up really quickly. The thing is about GEMP is, before it was kind of just a pet project for Troy's, right? A lot of people weren't really using it, but now tons of people are using it. We really need to treat it like it's, an enterprise software, and I think we're definitely getting there. We have a long ways to go, but step by step, I think we're getting there.
I agree. So what else you got for us, Dan? What are these hard questions?
okay, well, these are your questions. Okay, so
Well, somebody else gave some of them to me.
That's fair. Jeremy, you're gonna play at Worlds.
It's a hit.
Okay, good. That's an
Yeah,
easy
I'm
one.
fine. Yep.
Scott,
Hopefully
you're
you're
gonna
feeling
play-
better this year.
Scott, you're gonna play at Worlds.
Yeah. That's definitely.
Yeah, well, I don't have to travel to.
Yeah,
That's a good
it's
one.
kind of.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think
good,
I'm
yeah.
I think I'm the only one who's going to say miss on playing in Worlds. I'm probably
Can
gonna
run it for us.
Yeah, I'm going to run all the stream stuffs and everything, all the commentary. So
Yeah,
That's
and,
gonna
it's actually was a tough decision because I really do enjoy commentating.
yeah,
But if I get knocked out early, there's always time for that. So
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Absolutely.
I've been itching to play. I've taken a kind of a break from
awesome.
playing Star Wars because I'm trying to get playtesting together
Mm-hmm.
and fixing all these bugs and all this. A lot on my plate when it comes to Star Wars CCG, and playing just isn't really an option right now. But
Mm.
once that 13 is released, I'll have a lot of free time and I'll want to play some of these new cards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people want to play it. So the people who are behind on, or who do all the playtesting and everything, that's one thing they have said since a lot of these cards have been put on to GEMP. They want to play them for real life. So I've heard a lot of good and fun things regarding the cards, and we easily saw one of those today. So if you're late, we spoiled a card. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, just the other day they made some changes to the cards, and I know the playtesting guys were going, "Oh, I can use this and this. I love this card. I can do that." So it's good when you get that immediate feedback, but then it's even better because they can go play it and go, "Yeah, this definitely works."
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully. Okay, on to question number 3. Is open source for GEMP a good thing?
Oh, without question. That's definitely a hit.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, you gave, and we'll go into it more. I'm sure Jeremy's going to talk later about something that's come up but without question, I mean, we talked about some of the cards the players are putting in. That is without a question a great thing. It's awesome to see the community doing stuff.
Yeah. The biggest thing is it takes the burden off us, like Scott said earlier. Also, if there's a card that you want coded or a bug that you want fixed, like, you have the agency to get that in. You don't have to wait for our priority, which a lot of these Decipher cards are pretty low on our priority list. We got a lot of other things going on, a lot of other features that people want. People aren't really asking for mouse droids from Premiere, but if that's something you want, you can go in, you can learn how to code, and put in your own mouse droid.
You're saying that mouse droids aren't coded, but Septoid droids are?
They're a little more complex.
Yeah.
That's fair.
A little more complex.
That's fair.
Well, I know for a fact that in 183 days, there's going to be some cards that we're releasing that somebody is working on over the next couple months. So,
whoa. Is this a surprise, Scott?
It's just, nobody knows about it, but we've got a couple fun cards that we're putting out in 183 days, and you'll be able to kind of see that's going to be coded privately from one of our community members. So it's good that open sourcing is an awesome thing.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and do some shout outs here so like I said earlier, Brock Hall, he did a lot of work for Weequay Marksman. Stubbly put in a pull request. He fixed an issue where you can now post a game of each side for your league games. Before, it wouldn't let you post 2 games at once, but now you can post
that's a great
game
option
for
each
side. Yep. Also, Adam Fletcher, Echo Base Trooper, he's put in a ton of work, so much to the fact that we actually brought him onto the GEMP development team, so he's now a newly inducted slicer. He's doing a lot of good work. It's really impressive what he's done.
Important question for you. Does the GEMP development team, do they have one of those icons like the rest of the teams do?
I don't know. Do we, Scott?
What's that?
Do we have an icon?
One more time. I couldn't hear you.
You know the icons that we have for in the signatures, the little...
Oh, do we have a slicer one?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
I don't know. I don't think so. So we can Ming has been helping out with a lot of graphic design, so we can have him do it, or you, or whatever.
I was gonna say, those are all under I already got the Photoshops for them, so I'll take care of it. I just wanted to make sure, because that's something that I know marketing we're going to come up with and work with those, but I think those are...
Yeah, I know that... we've got some graphics for all the people, but what Adam has been able to do has been fantastic too. And I didn't realize that you couldn't, even something as simple as playing 2 league games and putting them up on the table for either side at the same time. That seems like such a simple thing. Nobody really thought of it, and that's great that Stubbly did that.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what open source allows for. If you see something that you're like, hey, I don't like the way this works, I think it should work this way.
Good.
You have the agency to fix that.
So, Jeremy, just to let you know, we actually have 3 different versions for the GEMP development team. We have a Lobot, we have Lobot, Brainiac, and Chopper. So, if you guys don't have an official one that we have uploaded, which one would you want for the team?
I'd have to see them first. Do you have them? Can you show it to us?
Yeah, I'll show it to you.
Nice.
But just based on those descriptions, I'd probably choose Brainiac.
That's fair. Yeah, they're just the images from the cards essentially, but they look like all the other ones. But actually, we're gonna work on. I'm gonna improve them. I think the ones we have are nice, but I think we can improve them. So look for something like so. If you're on a team, look for some new ones in the future.
Do you have the do you have the question about him stealing Echo Base Trooper's thunder?
Yes.
Oh,
I think that one is our next one, actually. Yeah, Jeremy, you are intentionally stealing Echo Base Troopers GEMP update thunder by coming on tonight. You intentionally did that.
Hey, I was asked to be on this show. Okay.
Well, who asked
They
you?
could have easily asked Adam to also be on the show, and I would have been certainly okay with that.
no, we're just giving you crap. Yeah, well, I'm the one that asked him, and we came up with some questions. It's funny because that was the first thing Justin was like, or Jeremy was talking about specifically, like, oh, this is awesome because of Adam. We're able to do some of these cool announcements, right?
Yeah.
And it's fun to poke a little fun. Like, I know someone asked about the Worlds discussion about you not feeling too well. Because unfortunately we held the Worlds at like the worst possible place. Probably everyone got MRSA from that event.
Which one was that?
At Princeton. Yeah, it was horrible. Just a horrible place.
Oh, you mean Dagobah Worlds?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it smelled like a swamp.
It felt like a swamp. We had no AC in that one.
Yeah, it was
Pretty
bad.
sure
It
we're getting
was.
old, and that's why
I
I
don't-
got sick.
I don't think I got billed for that event, so I think we got off the hook not billed for it, so it worked out.
Yeah, going back to Echo Base Trooper and
Sorry.
Adam, he's done an amazing job. So bad props to him.
Yeah, but did you intentionally steal his thunder?
No, he didn't. That was me just being silly.
Was Scott trying to force you into stealing thunder?
I was.
Bad Scott.
No. It's all in good fun. And that's the nice thing about the team, right? One of the benefits of this organization or this group of community is that everybody is very selfless. At the end of the day, it's about helping the community grow, and nobody cares about the rest.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Okay, we got one last question to discuss tonight. That question is, Jeremy, are you the best player that's on a technical team?
Are you the best slicing, the best player? I think so. I'm going to go with Hit. I think Adam might be upset with me.
I don't know who's on the team. Scott, you want to tell us who's on the team?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people. We got like Justin Carulli, we've got Adam Fletcher. I don't know if I can go into everybody, but I think Jeremy's the best player. I'm going to go out and say it. I am.
Do you count Matt Carulli?
Yeah, Matt Carulli's on there, and
Matt
I mean,
needs
there's
to be on one team. Like, I know he's got his own little advocate title. He's a special things advocate, but come on. And I'm going to say this. Well, first of all, Justin is like the better of the two Carullis. I'm just saying, he has done historically better between the two. I think Adam is good as a GEMP player. And I think there are differences between in-person to live events. So, Adam, you're out of that team. I think you're the best GEMP player. In person,
there's other people in the background, that have that help out, like Caldred and Jim Lee and stuff like that have the technical stuff, and even
Apollyon. Don't forget about
Apollyon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that's true. So there's a lot of people that are all involved. But I'm going to go with you, Jeremy, and I think it's because you're here tonight.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I get recency bias, huh?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Well, that was the joke. Everyone was joking. Did you code it so Kessling would try and win his event? I didn't even see the game, but somebody said that in the background. Did Kessling lost though, right?
Oh, yeah. He lost
Oh,
by
okay.
so he won the first game by 29 and lost the second game by 31. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that stinks.
so I'm
Okay.
just gonna say that like Jeremy, if your code if you
No,
did a code,
He wouldn't do that.
I know.
No,
But
Mike
no,
will
I-
agree with you that he did not play that game well. And Mike will be
Yeah.
the first one to agree with you.
How many?
We've seen that in the past, though.
Yeah.
Like at Worlds in Minnesota, there was I think it was Raveling won against Brian Hunter by like, I'm going to say 39, and then lost the second game of the match by like 41. And everyone was like, there's no way he can lose by less than 39, and he lost by 41, and it was like, holy crap. So we've seen matches like that. I've done it. I'm sure everybody has.
And funny story, so I'm in New Allies too. I don't know if you guys know this.
Oh my God! There's so many of you.
I was one of the original ones. Okay.
Okay,
Just
that's
one of the original
fair.
four.
But I'm still saying there are so many new allies. Like for the last like month or two, we have not stopped talking about new allies.
Well, it's because
We've
they're
had-
doing well too.
We've
I
had
mean,
this is like the third straight week we've had a new allies on the show.
we're taking over. It's like Fight Club. But yeah, we were talking in the chat beforehand that so we were kind of celebrating ahead of time after Mike won big against MHT that first game. And we were talking about like, oh, what are Greg and Mike gonna play against each other and all this stuff. And you know, Mike's like, well, don't count the chickens before they hatch. And I was like, well, true. Atlanta teams are known for blowing a huge lead. Right? And it actually happened, which is just crazy.
Who said that in your team chat? In the team
What
chat?
about the Atlanta teams blowing a lead?
Yeah.
That was me.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did.
Yeah,
It's just a joke, but you know, it happens.
Listen, that happens. We've all been there. 28-3. Someone just posted.
Yep.
Listen, I mean, my daughter's an Eagles fan, and I'm a Cowboys fan, so I was happy when, you know, unfortunately the Eagles won that one Super Bowl over the Patriots, I think. But I hate to see the Patriots keep winning, and I know they're the ones that won against Atlanta, right? Didn't they win?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a shame.
It is.
I mean, hey, Atlanta just lost how many points to your Cowboys, Scott?
I don't know. A lot.
Yeah, that was a
right?
lot. Yeah. Came
Yeah.
back at the last minute. Ugh.
My theory is that Atlanta sold their souls to the devil to get the Olympics there in '96. Because the last time Atlanta won
Yeah,
anything was in '95
anything.
with the Braves.
Yeah.
I guess,
Well, I
I
mean-
guess we're not counting MLS, but that's okay. I like soccer, so.
Nobody cares about MLS.
What's
Just
MLS?
I'm just kidding. Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
I love the. That's recently. You know, that was pretty recent. We only got that team in the past couple of years.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so we'll move on from swing and a miss, and we'll go straight into this week's deck challenge. So last week we proposed the challenge of I can't actually remember what last week's was. It was.
Tell you right
that-
now.
Yeah.
It was using, I've got it right here, basically the All Your Base Belong to Us deck
yeah,
from
that's right,
2001
yeah.
Worlds,
Yeah,
and modifying it 5 cards to see if you can do it.
and nobody did it.
In open, in the open
Yeah.
format.
Open any league format. So Scott, are you thinking that the challenges are too hard, or nobody wants to win?
Well, I think we just come up with better ideas, and I think this new one's a better one. I think this one's going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. I like this one. It's nothing over the top crazy, but you know what? Hey, if somebody does it, I'll be excited. So Scott, what is this challenge?
So the idea is using the demo deck objectives, just win a game with one of them. So we've got the Twin Sons of Tatooine one, and then the Cloud City one.
City in the Clouds or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the idea is just use one of those and win,
Okay.
and you'll get some cool stuff for it.
Yeah. And I mean, we had Scott made a really cool T-shirt for the winner of the Boom Pod. You sent it out to them. You made a Scomp Link T-shirt, which was really cool.
No, it was out of commission actually.
Out of commission, even cooler.
Yeah.
So that one, I mean, I like the idea there. So Normally we do the foil location with Jerry on it. I'm going to work on a few more. So once I have the idea of like which ones I'm going to be making and everything, I will let everybody know. We'll get them printed out, hopefully on actual PC foil paper. Scott.
Yep.
And we'll go from there.
But for this one, if you don't mind, I'd like to give away a shirt for this one as well.
Okay.
So depending on whether they play light or dark, we can, we'll kind of pick one. But I was thinking for the dark side one, we do Maul's electrobinoculars.
Okay.
And because it's, whether or not they use it, I think it's a cool card. Yeah. And then for the light one, because it's City in the Clouds, I was thinking we would do Fall of a Legend.
Okay. I was going to say, what about using the objectives?
Well, we can only do one side, so we could do that as well. Yeah. But I think something unique would be,
something like that, what you were saying, like one of the two, not as seen cards, but clearly something different. So,
cool. So we'll do, if you do the light side one, you get Fall of a Legend. You do the dark side one, you get the electrobinoculars, Maul's electrobinoculars. And if you win with both, we'll give you the first one to each side wins.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So right after this episode, we'll post it onto the forums. Again, post a game link as well as what side. And you know what? Post your deck. I want to see the decks. And
see if we can do it.
Yeah, if you post the decks, we'll throw them out there to the world. Hey, these are viable demo objective decks. I like that idea. And why don't we? You know what? Can we make those decks like one of the decks you pull down from on GEMP?
Sure. If someone makes a good one, I'm sure we could do that, Jeremy.
Put your name on the deck too, so that way it's there. Yeah, first person for each side. Again, just post it onto the forum sticky page, and then we'll go from there. So I like this one.
You think that's possible, Jeremy?
Maybe. We'll see.
Which one do you like better? Which of those demo decks? Have you seen any of those objectives used?
Yeah. I played them when they first released them at, I think it was at one of the NPCs a couple years ago.
Yep.
Yeah. The light side one I thought was actually pretty fun.
I think
I didn't play with the dark side one, so I don't know.
I think the light side one is a little easier, just because you don't have to have like Dark Jedi specifically on Tatooine to flip, so it's a little easier. However, the 7 side for the dark one is a lot better. And that's just
being able to upload and interrupt.
Yeah, that can be good.
Sweet.
That can be really good.
It felt a lot like UMC, which is one of my favorite decks, but that's why I liked it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our deck building challenge for the week. Again, you'll have until next Wednesday at 5. That way we can post all the graphics and everything on the show. And we'll get you some prizes, some cool prizes and everything. So another thing we want to talk... So for the card of the week, Scott has something interesting. It's not so much card of a week, but it's a deck idea of a week. So
yes. So one of the GEMP players, Angle King, someone kind of told me they saw this deck by Angle King and thought it would be cool to talk about. But the idea was carbon freezing in Bring 'Em Before Me. So the goal is you start with slip sliding away, you play the carbon chamber, and then you use the Death Star reactor terminal to play the device, the carbon chamber console, which then pulls carbon freezing and all the cards you need, and you automatically will capture Luke with Darth Vader, and you bring him over and carbon freeze him.
And then you can play Emperor's Prize, right?
Well, yeah. Yes, you could play Emperor's Prize if you can Sith probe droid the Emperor over and they lose half their life force. That would be amazing. I don't want to go crazy, but I think that's a really cool idea of maybe playing some carbon freezing where people won't expect it.
Just like in the movies, you're trying to freeze Luke in Empire Strikes Back. This time he's successful, so yeah, it's interesting.
If anyone ever has a lightsaber at the carbon chamber and it's Vader and the Emperor's there, you never want to go near him with Luke. Because
So
think about it, it's just going to happen.
yeah, so apparently Echo Base Trooper attempted. So according to the Crazy Runner guy CRG, Echo Base Trooper attempted this, and there's a GEMP bug on it. Is that correct? Is that correct, CRG?
Oh, there's a bug on what? Trying to freeze Bring Him Before Me?
Young Fool does not release Frozen Luke.
Oh, okay.
Aw, womp womp.
Oh, so you can't do the Emperor's Prize, but that's okay. You can still freeze him and make him
You
lose
can still
8.
freeze him, yeah. Well, I mean,
That's good
also,
enough.
You could also do All Too Easy as a quicker way to do it.
Right, but this way you make him lose 8 because you're capturing Luke. So I think that's
Yeah.
a cool idea. I'd love to see if somebody can actually do it.
Yeah. I like it.
So there's some tech ideas for you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeremy? Do you like that idea, or is it total crap?
I think it's a really fun idea. It's like Dan said, it holds true to the storyline in the movies. So I mean, I always love it when that happens.
Same.
Yeah.
We need more thematic decks.
Yeah, like when Bill was playing against you, Dan, like he was moving Vader, Emperor's Enforcer into Echo Base. Like that was sweet because that's what happened in the movies.
Let's not talk about
nice.
that match. Let's not talk about that match.
I like that idea.
I don't want to think about losing to Bill Caver.
So I did not tell Jeremy about the lore challenge or the spelling challenge. So
Scott, not to burst your
Yeah.
bubble, we already did that spelling card.
okay, all right, that's fine. I'll give you another one. Well, but why don't we try the lore with him,
Okay.
and I'll get you the other spelling card.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, because then I'll show the. So we'll do the lore challenge first. So Jeremy, do you know what this is all about? Do you know
I'm
what
guessing
the lore?
I have to guess a card based on its lore.
Yep, pretty much.
I'm gonna do terrible on it.
Okay, so we're gonna ask you to please turn off Twitch if you are currently watching,
Okay.
and 1 second. Okay, so we're gonna show the card, and I'm gonna tell you what side it is and what type of card it is, and then I will read you the lore. And you're gonna have to guess on what that card is. Okay, so the lore is, it is a light side interrupt,
Great.
and the lore
Here's
is.
the-
Scott, do you think we should give him the sets or no?
No, don't make it easy.
Evil as usual, Scott. Okay, your lore is the huge Imperial officer corps, with its high rate of turnover, is ripe with competitiveness and ambition. Advancement comes at the expense of another's career.
Is that demotion? Oh, demotion's an effect, anyways, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's an interrupt.
it is an interrupt. I'll give you one more choice, or one more chance. I like giving two chances.
It's from Hoth.
And you said I couldn't give the set. Okay, I'll read the lore one more time.
Okay, thank you. It's gonna really help me.
The huge Imperial officer corps, with its high rate of turnover, is ripe with competitiveness and ambition. Advancement comes at the expense of another's career.
You said this is from Hoth?
Yes.
Hoth
Oh
interrupt.
my god. No idea. Is this what's it's I know I can picture it. It's the image with Ozzel getting choked, right?
Yes. No,
he's
it's
not getting choked, but you're on the right track.
It's right
Yeah,
before he got choked.
Right, yeah. And he's talking to, I want to say it's Piet.
Man, I can't think of the name of the card.
Scott, you want to tell him?
Yeah, it's Dark Dissension.
Dark Dissension, yeah. I can see the image, but yeah, I don't.
Oh, God.
That's
Scott.
okay. And then here, the spelling one is good. I like this one. I
Yeah.
think Jeremy's really going to know it.
I think this one too. Let
Probably
me.
not.
Okay, so I'm gonna go grab the image. I'm just gonna say, Scott, I have picked this one. I have never picked this one for a reason, because I'm gonna butcher the crap out of this name. So you're gonna read it, please. Hold on.
Salat Murray.
Say it again.
I think it's Salat Murray.
What is this from Jabba's palace?
Yes.
It is.
Oh,
He's
God.
a Malia Gorka, and he's a mysterious member of Jabba's court, posing as an alien artifact trader.
He's the big nose guy.
All right, say it one more time.
Salat Murray.
So yeah, that's actually pretty accurate.
I have no idea. Salit. Is that his first name? No.
No,
Nope.
Then I have no idea.
it's. Go ahead, Scott.
SAELT hyphen MARAE. It's a tough one.
I'm so glad you did not let me say how to try that one.
That was pretty good. Yeah, it's a tough one.
I knew it was
Yeah.
going to be from Jabba's palace. I just knew it.
Well, that's
Yeah.
where we get all of them
Random
at from.
names in that set. I don't even know what this card looks like. I have to look this
Like
card
I
up.
said, it's the guy with the big nose.
He's like at the entrance of the audience chamber where,
Big nose.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You'll know when you see him. Okay.
where Jabba's chamber was.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. So, there's a surprise. Jeremy, you have a surprise to tell the world. Is that correct?
I do. I do.
Well, the floor is yours,
So-
sir.
There has been a feature that a lot of people have been asking for, and thankfully, due to open source, we were able to bring on Echo Base Trooper, Adam
Okay.
Fletcher, as we talked about before, and he brought this to life. This feature, he did it pretty quickly, and I got to give him props because this is something that people have been asking for a long time, and we actually snuck it into the release yesterday, but we haven't turned it on yet. So I'm actually going to turn it on live on stream right now.
Ooh.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you see my screen?
No. Yep. So, watching stream from you.
Okay, so this is the admin panel for GEMP. I happen to be an admin.
No, we don't see that.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Okay, it's slowly coming up. You know what? Here, let me bring down some stuff.
Can we get rid of us and maximize him?
No.
So you can't see the screen?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we have the screen, and you're on the server options, the cache, the message of the day, yada yada yada.
Okay, so you do see the screen.
Yes.
Yes, now we do.
I'm going to go down to the bottom, and you'll see here, toggle private games. So now we have the ability to play private games on GEMP. Now, this comes with a caveat.
Okay.
This can be turned on and off at the advocate's discretion. It's also going to be... We're going to beta test it, basically.
Mhm.
It's quite possible there will be bugs. Don't fully expect your games to be completely private. We hope that it works that way, but like we said, we're beta testing this. So
Okay.
don't
Just
get
to
too
let-
upset if it doesn't work the way we think it works. It's
Mhm.
still a work in progress. But please
And-
test it.
Yeah, and the idea is, we will tell you we've been, and a big props to Justin Desai for kind of pushing to get this, is we are going to try it out a few weeks before the major events. If this works, we will kind of shut it off until a few weeks before Worlds, and it gives people a way to play some private games to make it more competitive, so you don't have to worry about alts and all these other problems that run up. So that was
Okay.
the idea, and yeah, Adam did a great job in getting this together quick as hell.
That's
Won't
awesome.
lie.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is
Yeah. So
awesome.
map route to Adam, and
I,
um,
Adam,
hopefully it works.
Adam made Justin Desai's night by far.
Yeah, and I will say that this would not have been possible without us going open source and
Yeah.
being able to, because we're going to be using this as we're going to be using open source as a recruitment base too for the slicers. For if we see someone that's doing a really good job, we'll try to get him on the team, and that's exactly what happened with Adam. Pulled him in, and as soon as he was on the team, he rolled with this feature.
It's pretty awesome.
Yep. So let me just.
I agree.
So if you see here, there's a little private checkbox here.
Yeah.
So you click that, and then you can put your opponent's name in there.
Okay.
And it'll only be available to them. So you put your opponent's name in the description, and you click private.
Okay, so say if you wanted to play it like Batmouse right now, you put Batmouse in there.
I would just put Batmouse in there and I'd create a table.
Okay.
And only he would be able to join it, theoretically.
Theoretically.
Now we did test this. It worked at a base level, but always going live with something as large as this feature is.
Yeah.
We got to put a caveat that it's being beta tested.
That's fair.
And Matt Carulli will be posting a more detailed explanation on how to do this and what it means for tournament play and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Now, I do think that league games and
OCS.
You cannot play private games on playtesting or league games.
So my next question is, especially for commentators. So people who the commentator team, especially the commentator team, we have to come to you or one of the other members, the admins of GEMP, to essentially assign us the ability to view the games. Now, is that something that we're going to still have to do, or are we going to be able to view those games and just tell everybody to get the heck out, or what are we going to have to do for that?
No, actually, we also have another Adam Fletcher feature that I will show you.
Okay.
And that is this commentator role. Do you guys see this on screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So now we can just add people as commentators instead of having to give them admin access.
Okay. See, now that I like.
Yep. Because I think accidentally someone saw playtest cards while they were temporarily an admin to do some commentary.
Yes. So now we can avoid doing that, which we wanted to do anyways, as developers, because we don't like a lot of people having admin access. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah.
So this is definitely another thing that we really needed.
Okay.
So huge props to Adam again for putting this together.
Yeah. One thing I would like
really challenged him when he came in, and he
ran with it.
So
dude stepped up and took it off. Yeah. So one thing I would like to announce: if you want to be a commentator, a regular commentator for any of the events, please get in touch with me. We will be creating a list of people who we can present to Jeremy that will have just regular commentator access. So that way, if we have like a major event or one of these like a Coruscant events with the finals and everything, we can have people come on and do commentary. I know a lot of people are using their own Twitch sites and everything, so from now on, that's something else we can talk to. We'll also get those people with the ability to use the PC account as their own. We'll set up a generic thing on the OBS so that way they can stream. So if you want to be a commentator, please just get in touch with myself, Scott, Matt Carulli. That way we can add you to the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with open source. If anybody's interested in open source, just let one of us know. We'll get you in the right direction.
I'm looking forward to Bill Kafer becoming a coding machine.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I loved Bill's. I watched most of Bill's little thing on Monday. I loved it.
Yeah.
Bill, props to you for doing that and explaining a lot of the new formats, especially the VR format. It's interesting. Props to the European guys who are starting up a new format, a new way to play, especially for the new tournament that's coming up with them. That's going to be an interesting one. So we're going to be needing a lot of commentators for that. Uh, there's a lot going on. I mean, we have the OCS, we have the Texas Mini World Finals between Greg and Matt coming up. As soon as we know what they're going to be doing, we'll let you know. The OCS has started. We're still waiting on the first actual game. I believe it's going to be Drew. No, maybe not Drew. There is a game that is scheduled, I want to say, for maybe this weekend, but I'm not. Again, we'll just check the forums for that.
Yep.
And Worlds is coming up. We had the announcement, I want to say, was it this week or last week, about Worlds, Scott?
I think it was last week that we're basically getting that together. We're trying to figure out the best way to do it. That Jeremy helping with the lag, or not even helping, like figuring it out.
Yeah.
With Devin, I know that they worked together to get this resolved. So I think that was the biggest issue.
Mm-hmm.
And if assuming that lag is gone, we're going to be able to do some really amazing stuff for Worlds.
Yeah. And like I said, we're going to need a bunch of volunteers to work with it. So if you want to volunteer for Worlds, we'll make sure that, one, you can do it. Two, that you get your fair share in. It's going to be a fun event. Like you saw how many people did Texas Mini Worlds, how many people joined the NPC. Worlds is the event, so look for the sign-ups, look for volunteering lists. Yeah, just stay tuned to the forums.
Do you have details for the format? Can we discuss the details of the format?
We don't know, but I believe I'll be on next week again, and we can go into more detail at that.
That I like.
One thing I will tell you, I had a player, Joe Gianetti, email me about a week ago, and he said, hey, I really want to have a local event that's going to be 4 different events or 4 different formats in one event.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, we can do it. I was like, you tell us what you want, and we'll make it happen. So that's with this VR format, with the Jawa format. If there is enough of a group of people that want to do this, go for it. I believe it was Versus that would have Worlds as 3 days. One was sealed, one was draft, and one was constructed.
Yeah.
So I think the future of this game maybe not be that at Worlds, but I would love to have an online event that is 3 days of different types of formats.
Yes,
I think
I
cube or sealed or constructed would be awesome, and that's what it really comes down to. Players coming to us and saying, we want to do this, we'll do it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like everything the PC is from player ideas. So the more ideas we get from everybody, the bigger the PC is. And also, just to confirm, Drew and Jared DiPaolo will be playing this Friday at 8:30 for their first game. If you're watching and want to do the commentary, just get in touch with me. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at this face while they play.
No thanks. Well, I think on that note.
And on that bombshell, I think we're going to end it tonight. Thank you, Scott, for coming on and being the co-host. Jeremy, too many J people. Jeremy, thank you for coming on as our special guest and explaining a lot of what is going behind the scene on GEMP. I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the private rooms. That's something that, again, as players have been calling for forever now, and it's exciting. It's exciting times in the times of Star Wars, people.
So, absolutely.
I agree.
And with that, we're going to see, Scott and I will see everybody next week. Good night, everybody.
Yep.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.